Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be comparing some swatches of previously released eyeshadows from Melt Cosmetics compared to their two new beautiful palettes, Vida and Muerte. Now I don't have all the shades completely from Melt Cosmetics, but I have most. For example, I don't have the entire Lovesick stack as well as the Gunmetal stack. I also don't have the two beige brown split pans from the Blueprint stack. So when they revealed the palettes and the shades in them, I saw somebody do a comparison, kind of like a collage of existing shades next to the palettes, and it seemed like there was quite a bit of crossover, and they looked pretty similar to some of the existing shades. So I just wanted to explore that because I wasn't convinced, because photos are just different than what they look like in real life, and I do think there's going to be some similarities, but I don't think they're going to be that significant. So let's get started first with the Vida palette. Here's 27 palette in comparison. So here I don't see any similar shades. These two might look more similar on camera than they do in real life. Naked Sleep is much warmer. So this is Smoke Sessions. Sour Diesel looks just a little bit similar to these two. It's kind of like an in-between shade, so I will swatch that just for reference. As you can see, I haven't even swatched the Vida palettes yet, so this is my first time dipping my fingers in. So here's Agua Ardiente from the Vida palette, Sour Diesel from Smoke Sessions, and Chocolate from Vida palette. Sour Diesel has quite a bit of an olive tone in it, and so does Agua Ardiente. Next is the Gemini palette. Here I think Luna and Atole is similar, but that's the only shade from this palette. Here's Atole, and here's Luna from Gemini. Luna is definitely lighter. So moving on, this is the Radioactive palette. Neon and Xenon are a little bit similar to Papel Picado and Amor Eterno. So Papel Picado and Xenon. Xenon just a little bit darker. It has like this really fine shimmer in it. Next is Amor Eterno. Beautiful yellow, and Neon, which Neon is actually my favorite yellow of all time. Neon also has kind of like glitters or shimmers in it, and it just seems like a little bit brighter, but I don't know, I think that could be the reflection of the shimmers. Next is the Impulse palette. Here 2012 and Rule Breaker are a little bit similar to these two shades, but Go Getter and Alegria are actually pretty different. Go Getter is much more of a pink, and Alegria is more of a orangey kind of shimmer. So I'm not gonna swatch those next to each other because they're pretty different, but I will swatch the other two mattes. So here is Soul from the Vida palette, 2012 from the Impulse palette. Very similar. 2012 just looks a little bit grungier, like it has just a little bit more, it's just a little bit darker. Pan Dulce versus Rule Breaker. These are very similar, but Rule Breaker is also much redder and deeper than Pan Dulce. These look so beautiful together. Next, I don't know if this is gonna fit completely in frame, but I have my depotted stack pans in this Adept Cosmetics double-sided. And then here's the other side, which these ones I haven't yet, because this is the Shapeshift stack, and then the Blueprint, which I only kept the two blue pans, and it took them 3 times to send this pan so it wouldn't be broken. I'm probably not gonna depot. I don't even know how I would depot these, and if I would want to, because they're the split pans. So obviously nothing on this side. So this is the Neon pan from the Radioactive stack. That's the only one that I ended up keeping because this is my favorite yellow, and then now I just got the palette. So I'm glad I put it in a palette because I think it's so much better in a palette than in the stacks. Even though the stacks were super fun when they first came out with them, but they're just not really ideal for storage, and I never ended up reaching for them, so I like having them here. Chocolate with Rot, I think they're pretty similar, so I will swatch those. And then other than that, Pan Dulce and Main Squeeze, but not really. Main Squeeze is much deeper. It's actually kind of like, it actually kind of matches the shimmer shade. So yeah, I think that's really it from the rest of the stacks. So here is Rot. I think this is from the Rust stack. And Chocolate. Chocolate is deeper, but they have pretty much the same tone. If anything, Chocolate is maybe just a little bit cooler toned than Rot. So that's it for the comparisons of the Vida palette. Now on to the Muerte palette. I'm gonna do this in the same order. Here is the 27 palette. And again here, and just like the Vida palette, I don't see any similarities here. Definitely no crossovers. Then on to Smoke Sessions. Angelito and Sweet Tooth are very, very similar, so I will definitely swatch those. Angelito and Sweet Tooth are very, very similar, but that's about it for this palette. So here's Angelito and Sweet Tooth. They're pretty similar, but Sweet Tooth is more green. Next we got the Gemini palette, and here, no similarities. And here's the Radioactive palette. Arsenic and Lagrimas is a little bit similar, but Arsenic has shimmers in it and it's more teal. I think the camera makes them look much closer than they really are in person, but so let me swatch them for reference. Here's Lagrimas and here's Arsenic. They're similar, but now swatched I can tell Lagrimas is more green. Next is the Impulse palette, and here Tipsy and Katrina look a little bit similar, so I will swatch those. And then Boss Lady and Velorio look a little bit similar. So here's Katrina from the Muerte palette, and Tipsy from the Impulse palette. Just a little bit similar. Katrina is much deeper, and Tipsy has much more glitter in it. Then Velorio. Whoa, it's so pigmented. And Boss Lady. Boss Lady is not swatching as well. Boss Lady is lighter and redder, while Velorio, once I swatched it, looks much more plum. So lastly we have the stacks. I think I see maybe some similarities. Not really many similarities, but I think Sangre and Enigma are a little bit similar. And then from the Blueprint stack, definitely going to swatch those two blues. But yeah, that's about it. So here is a Sangre from the Muerte palette. Oh my god, look at that. I have so much, I just touched that shade compared to Enigma. And actually a Lovesick I think is a little similar too, so let me just swatch that one. So these are so similar but different. I think if anything Enigma is much deeper. Sangre is much deeper than both of these. Next we got the blue, so Noche Eterna, compared to Dim Out. Wow, okay, Dim Out is much more of a indigo, a little bit more cobalt. Noche Eterna is much deeper. Then we got Katrina. This one has like a weird, it has like a pull on it. It's a little harder to spread out compared to King Stud. Totally different shades. Katrina has shimmers in it and like sparkles. Katrina has sparkles in it, while King Stud is just a pure metallic with no shimmer. It has a beautiful reflective quality, but just no like glitter particles. So those are all my swatch comparisons. Both these palettes are very unique to their collection. While some shades might look similar, they're just not quite the same in tone. Hard to say that if you were to use them on the lid if they would end up looking the same. I'm obsessed with the color stories. I think they just really knocked it out of the park with this collection, and it's, from what I've heard, it's been pretty much everybody's favorite collection of the year. And I will be doing 3 or 4 looks with each of these palettes, so stay tuned for those videos. And that is all for this video. I hope this was helpful to you. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you next time.